You're waiting for clarity, for confidence, for a sign, for the stars to align just right. But here's the brutal truth that most people spend their entire lives trying to avoid. You will never feel ready not to chase that dream, not to speak your truth, not to walk away from the life that's keeping you small. And the longer you wait for that mythical moment of certainty, the deeper you sink into a life that was never meant for you. We've been sold a lie wrapped in comfort, sugar-coated with logic, and reinforced by generations of cautious souls who traded their potential for permission. And the lie says, when you're ready, you'll know. But look around, the graveyards are full of people who waited to know. People who waited to be ready and ran out of time. Because readiness isn't a feeling. It's a decision. It's a rebellion. It's standing in front of the storm, barefoot and shaking, and stepping forward anyway. Edison didn't feel ready when he failed 10,000 times to invent the light bulb. So Lincoln didn't feel ready when he faced a nation tearing itself apart. Disney didn't feel ready when he was fired for lacking imagination. But they moved. They acted. They started scared, unsure, and unqualified. Because vision doesn't requiert permission. And faith doesn't wait for certainty. Understand this. The mind will always find a reason to delay. Always. It will whisper that you're not smart enough, not experienced enough, not them enough. It will parade your doubts like facts and weaponize your past like prophecy. But none of that. That is truth. It's fear. And fear, when unchallenged, becomes your master. Fear doesn't show up as a monster in the closet. It's subtle. It's logical. It sounds like, let's just wait a little longer. Maybe now's not the best time. What if it doesn't work? But here's the question you must face. What if it does? What if you acting today not perfectly, but boldly begins the very chain of events that rewrites your destiny? What if starting before you're ready is the exact thing that makes you become the person who is? Let that sink in. You don't become confident and then take the leap. You take the leap, and that's what builds confidence. You don't become disciplined and then start the routine. You start, and the routine builds discipline. You don't get clarity and then find purpose. You walk into the fog, and the fog parts for those who dare to walk anyway. The world doesn't reward the perfect. It rewards the courageous. Look at every titan who's ever changed history, from Ford to Jobs, from Carnegie to Oprah, and you'll find the same pattern. They moved when others froze. They acted while others planned. They stepped forward before anyone gave them the green light. Why? Because they understood something that most people never will. Readiness is not a requirement, it's a result. Every master was once a beginner who picked up the brush before they knew how to paint. Every leader once doubted their voice before they changed the world with it. So the question is not, are you ready? The question is, are you willing? Willing to look foolish, willing to stumble, willing to fall forward again and again, because you know deep down that the pain of regret is far greater than the pain of growth. No one's asking you to be fearless, but you must be brave. You must be the one who acts when it's uncomfortable. You must be the one who chooses momentum over perfection. Because success is not a destination, it's a rhythm, and rhythm is created by action. Small actions, daily decisions, private battles won in silence. You want to know how to change your life? Force yourself to do the hard thing. Right now. Not tomorrow. Not next Monday. Now. E-publish. Make the call. Start the business. Join the gym. Say the thing that's burning in your soul to say. Because every day you wait is another day you teach your subconscious that hesitation is safety. You're programming yourself every moment with action or avoidance. And over time, those choices become your character. And your character becomes your fate. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the level of your discipline. And discipline starts with a single choice. Move. Begin. Start now. You've already wasted too much time negotiating with your potential. You've asked for opinions. You've waited for signs. But the universe doesn't respond to hesitation, it responds to decision. Every powerful moment in human history began with a decision. A decision to act, to defy the odds, to move. Not because it was easy, but because it was necessary. The Wright brothers didn't have degrees in aerodynamics. They had conviction. They had belief. They had the audacity to start. And that's what you need now. Not a plan for the next 5 years. Not another motivational quote. Not another book. You need movement. Imperfect, messy, bold movement. Because clarity is not a light switch. It's a candle that grows as you walk. Because clarity is not a light switch. It's a candle that grows as you walk. And most people never walk far enough to see the light expand. They stop at the edge of discomfort, mistaking that edge for the end. But that edge, that resistance, that's not the end. That's the beginning. That's the place where average turns around and the uncommon push forward. It's the invisible line between who you've been and who you were meant to become. And the only way across is to start walking. Stop obsessing over step 20 when you haven't taken step 1. And stop worshiping the illusion of when I'm ready, it's a mirage. It keeps you busy planning, thinking, analyzing, while life passes you by. The future isn't coming, you're building it. One decision at a time. And indecision is a decision, it's a slow suicide of your dreams. So you either move now while the flame inside you still burns, or you watch it die out, buried beneath excuses, dressed as logic. You don't need more time. You need more courage. And courage doesn't come from reading about bravery. It comes from facing what scares you moving anyway. You can have fear in your body and power in your soul at the same time. One does not cancel the other. In fact, fear is proof you're on the edge of growth, because nothing grows in comfort. Nothing strong was ever forged in safety. Steel is tempered by fire. Muscle is torn before it strengthens. Character is born in trial, not tranquility. You want the dream? Then you must earn the scars. Because every goal worth chasing has a toll, and the price is paid in daily discomfort. Waking up earlier than you want to, saying no when it's easier to say yes, choosing focus when distraction is seducing you. That's the price, that's the path. And yes, it will test you. It will strip away every excuse you've ever used to stay small. It will demand you face the parts of you that you've hidden from the world. But in that fire, you become real. Not perfect, not polished, but real. And real is where greatness lives. You think Carnegie waited until he understood every aspect of steel production before he started? You think Henry Ford had all the answers before he built the assembly line? No. They moved. They failed. They adjusted. But above all, they began. They didn't need certainty. They needed conviction. Because the gap between where you are and where you want to be is not talent. It's not intelligence. It's not luck. It's movement. Inconsistent, committed movement. Even on the days you don't feel like it, especially on those days. Because that's when champions are built, not when it's easy, but when it's hardest. The world is full of people who are about to launch, about to start, about to change, but there's no reward for almost. There's no prize for nearly. The world only moves for those who move it. And that starts with a decision to stop waiting, to stop wishing, to stop begging for guarantees, and build your future with your own two hands. You don't need permission. You are the permission. You don't need more preparation. You need movement. So write the book. Even if the first page is garbage, record the video. Even if your voice shakes, make the sale. Even if you fumble the pitch. Because the repetition builds mastery, and mastery begins with a first ugly attempt. Do not let perfection become your prison. The Wright brothers didn't build a Boeing 747. They launched a bicycle with wings, and it changed the world. Start small, start messy, start scared, but start. Because time doesn't care about your intentions. It responds only to action. Every day you delay is a day further from the life you say you want. And here's the hardest truth of all. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you belief or drive or momentum. It's on you. And if that scares you, good. Because it also means this. You don't have to wait. You don't have to ask. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You just have to decide right here, right now, that your future is worth more than your fear. Because it is. You wouldn't have the dream if you weren't capable of the discipline it demands. You wouldn't feel the calling if you weren't built for the climb. Everything you need is already inside you. It's just been waiting, not for the perfect time, but for you to stop waiting. So move, act, launch, speak, write, build, run, because hesitation is the silent killer of potential, and the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking, and you may not hear it now over the noise, the distractions, the comfort of routine, but it's ticking. Every second you hesitate is a second that slips quietly into the past, never to return. You think you have time, but you don't. That's the illusion. That's the greatest lie of all. That someday will eventually arrive when the stars align and the path is lit and your confidence is full. But there is no someday. There is only now. And now doesn't care how afraid you are. Now doesn't care if your plan is perfect. Now rewards only those who move with urgency. Because life belongs to the bold. Do you think greatness waits around for the fearful to feel comfortable? No. Greatness is taken, not received. It is built, not granted. And it is claimed by those who understand this one law of the universe. The universe respects momentum, not ideas, not good intentions, not potential, momentum. And momentum doesn't come to those who stand still and wait for signs. It comes to those who move, who step forward even when everything in their body is screaming to retreat. That's the difference between the few who rise and the many who remain. Not ability, not luck, not talent, unwillingness, willingness to begin, to stumble, to be bad before you're good and good before you're great. Think of any hero you've ever admired. They weren't born ready. They became ready through action. Nelson Mandela didn't feel prepared to lead a nation, and so he walked through fear, through prison, through pain, because his vision was louder than his fear. What about you? What vision have you buried beneath excuses? What fire have you smothered with the wet blanket of doubt? You don't need more motivation. You need a mirror. You need to look yourself in the eye and admit the truth. You've been playing small. You've been waiting for a feeling that's never coming. You've been letting fear disguise itself as logic and calling it wisdom. But wisdom is not the avoidance of risk. Wisdom is the mastery of risk. It's knowing that fear doesn't go away and choosing to move anyway. That's what courage is. Not the absence of fear, the refusal to let it control you. You say you want success. You say you want purpose. You say you want to build something that matters. Then prove it. With action. Not tomorrow now. Because every minute you wait is a minute someone else is using. Someone with half your talent, half your knowledge, but twice your courage. Someone who understands that ready is a myth and movement is the truth. The world will not pause for you. Your opportunities will not sit in storage, waiting for you to feel worthy. They are passing you by right now, because the world rewards the ones who decide, the ones who act, the ones who begin before they know what they're doing, the ones who say, I'll figure it out along the way, but I won't stay here any longer. That's the voice of destiny. That's the moment your life starts to change, not when the conditions are right, but when your decision is real, because nothing moves until you do. The doors don't open until you knock. The answers don't appear until you start asking the right questions with your actions, not just your thoughts. You want growth? Do the thing that terrifies you. You want change? Break the pattern that's kept you in place. You want the next level? Then burn the bridge to who you used to be. Stop negotiating with your lesser self. Stop apologizing for your ambition. Stop explaining your dreams to people who gave up on theirs. You don't owe anyone an explanation, but you do owe yourself a commitment, a sacred vow that from this moment forward, your actions will speak louder than your doubts. Do you feel that? That tightness in your chest? That voice whispering, maybe I can do this? That's your future trying to get your attention. Don't silence it again. You've silenced it long enough with your distractions, your scrolling, your self-doubt. You've numbed it with comfort, buried it under maybe laters, but it's still there, and it's louder now, because you're closer than you think, Closer to the moment where everything changes. Not because you knew it all, but because you were willing to lead. And if there's one truth that every great achiever has understood from Napoleon Hill to every leader who's ever defied the odds, it's this. The leaf creates the wings, not the other way around. You'll never feel ready That's the test. That's the price. And that's also the proof that you're standing on the edge of something real.
Huh? So don't look down.
Don't step back. Don't wait for applause. Leap on. You are not here to coast. You are not here to blend in. You are not here to tiptoe through life waiting for the right moment. You are here to rise, to break cycles, to carry a vision so loud it drowns out every doubt. And that journey, the one that changes everything, begins right now.
Huh?
Not when you're ready, not when you feel brave, not when you have the full map. Right now. Imperfect. Unpolished. Afraid. But moving anyway. Because movement is the message. And action is the answer. And life belongs to those who start before they feel ready. You are here to rise, to break cycles, to carry a vision so loud it drowns out every doubt. And that journey, the one that changes everything, begins right now. Not when you're ready. Not when you feel brave. Not when you have the full map. Right now. Imperfect. Unpolished. Afraid. But moving anyway. Because movement is the message. And action is the answer. And life belongs to those who start before they feel ready.